Hey guys, just again, message from the empty room. Quick thought about today. This is 40 days into our quarantine. Maybe it's longer for you. Maybe you're not counting anymore. I definitely am counting because I'm ready for it to be over. But just a quick thought about 40. 40 in scripture represents this test or a trial. And that's pretty significant to what we probably feel like we've gone through, a very strong test about different things with our patience, our attitudes. But 40, we look at people in scripture and you remember 40 days or maybe 40 years of things that they've gone through. Jonah is sent to the city of Nineveh for 40 days. He preaches to them until they return to God. You have, like we've talked a lot about, Ezekiel. God tells him to lay on his right side for 40 days to represent the sin of Judah. Such an odd thing, but he does that for 40 days. You have Moses spending 40 years in Egypt, and he flees to Midian. He spends another 40 years there before God calls him back to Egypt to help deliver his people. His people spend 40 years wandering in the wilderness before they go in and fight for the promised land that God gave them. And of course, we know Jesus spends 40 days in the desert being tempted by Satan before he begins his ministry. What a significant test that we've all been through now, and we all share this idea of 40 days of trial, like many that we've talked about just now. What have you done with those 40 days? What kind of trials and tests have you had? What have you survived? What have you overcome? And I hope that you have done that. What if we do this another 40 days? What is your attitude and your direction going to be? What if it's longer? I just want to leave you with this verse about God, and I hope it's very encouraging to you in the fact that this is where we are, but don't forget who God is through it. He says in 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 2, "There is none holy like God, for there is no one beside you." And look at this, "There is no rock like our God." I hope you remember that. I hope that brings you some strength, that even through our trials and our tests, whether it's 40 days or 40 years, that God is always going to be our rock. I love you, miss you, can't wait to fill this empty room back up again. Praying for you and your faith. Love you.